So when I was a kid, I used to collect my dad's toenails.
What? For what?
Like my dad, he was notorious. He would have such long toenails.
But you just
and my mom had to cut them for him, and like it was like a big thing. It was a big thing in this community.
Cutting your dad's toenails was a family event.
It was a family event. It was like, oh, it's been 2-3 months. Like it's time to cut daddy's toenails.
Oh
like, my mom.
It's the Rundown, Thursday, February 13th, brought to you by Reeses. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combo of chocolate and peanut butter. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups may be even more perfect with a layer of ooey gooey delicious chocolate lava. You can buy Reese's Cups basically anywhere. It's lava time, baby. If you haven't tried the new Reese's Cups with the chocolate lava in it, they're incredible.
They bang, yeah.
It adds a perfect amount of wetness, is what I've been saying, which isn't the greatest way to describe it, but that's what it is.
Moisture?
Moistness.
Moistness?
That was a funny time when we just wouldn't say the word moist. People were like I hate it. Moist
Was that a time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it might have been before you.
Is there a new word that we're not allowed to say?
Think of a few.
Dude,
Most of them are back.
I have a question. I am in this predicament where I cannot buy underwear that fits me correctly. It's been my entire life, and last week I was on the road for like 10 days, and so I brought 20 pairs of boxers or briefs, and I ran out of all of them, so I had to go buy some, and now I'm wearing new ones that are just fucking strangling me.
Fights.
No
joke. I was like, man, if we could talk about this on the run, that'd be great. I've been going through this problem too. Under my desk, I have like 1 million pairs of boxers that I've been trying on. I can't find any that don't. And then they're like, I've tried every size. I'm like, maybe it's a size, and they just keep rolling up.
Roll right up, fucking.
Yeah, it's like I'm wearing a thong, and it's just
a nightmare. It's a night. I don't know what to do.
Huh.
You don't have that problem?
Mine fit okay. I mean, I have 2 different pairs of boxers. I have the tight like briefs where it's like if I'm going out, maybe a lady's gonna see them, then you wear that. If I'm like going out, if there's no chance anyone else sees my boxers, I wear like the very loose fitting,
really
straight up boxers.
That's nuts.
They're so much more comfortable.
No, dude, they're all bunched everywhere.
I do the exact same thing as Tommy. Like the ones that like just hang loose are so much easier to wear.
So much more.
But they're way more
To
embarrassing
sleep
to
in?
wear.
Sleep, sure. I sleep naked, but
I'd get tire tracks all over my sheet.
yeah, heavens to Betsy.
so
All right,
gross. Yeah.
I sleep naked and I wipe my ass.
I wipe my ass too, but I have a tire tracks problem.
So I went because I couldn't find boxers that fit. I just went for a whole year just going commando basically.
Really? That's what I was doing. I was commando for a little while, and then I was like, I can't keep up this. This is nuts. So I went and got fucking briefs that just don't fit.
Then people were like, we can just see your penis. Like, and I was like, well, that's kind of a you problem. It doesn't really affect me or bother me. But yeah, it's
You got a
tough.
nice fucking hog.
Yeah, but it puts me in a bad mood when I'm wearing these underwear that are so uncomfortable, and I'm just like, I'm adjusting them all the time.
I'm essentially wearing a cock ring right now. Like, it's just there's a bunch of fabric just wrapped around my dick. Anyway, let's do the rundown.
If anyone can fix that, let us know. Yeah, Reese's, brought to you by them. First topic on the rundown. Woman on a New York City subway had a baby. At around noon a couple days ago, people were on the subway. They heard a woman just saying, help, help, help. And she's having a baby. My question to you guys is, you guys ride the subway. You see this going on. Are you helping out?
Yeah, just in case. If the cameras come out, I'm helping. If I could be in a TikTok, it's like, is that Tommy helping someone deliver a baby? Like I wouldn't have my hands in her badge, but I would be like maybe like patting her on the back, like, are you okay? We could do this. Yeah, like that type of. Yeah, that's a dream for me.
Hold my hand.
I wouldn't know how to do it, so I'd be like on the other end, like working her like a toothpaste tube, just trying to push. Like I don't know what to do with this fucking thing. I'll just push her sternum and see if that pushes it out.
That's like the dream way to be a hero on a. I don't want it to be a hero on a subway where I got to like fight a homeless man or something. Like that's not the type of hero I want to be. I want to be a hero. It's like, oh wow, he's helping this woman give her emotional support. What a king. I have to have sex with her.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often too.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, like 6 million people take the subway every day, probably more than that. How many of them are pregnant? It feels like this never happens. This feels it should happen with somewhat regularly.
I agree. I feel like, yeah, and, just a pure numbers thing.
Yeah.
some people go early. You should have at least 10 of these stories a year.
10. I was gonna say monthly, but yeah, 10 works.
Yeah, so just about the same. 10 or 12. Yeah,
It's a pretty regular thing, I feel like, or it should be at least.
I feel like I wouldn't help out. Like if it's an old person, I love helping out old people. That's easy. You help them up over like a step or something, and like, come on, hold my arm. This one, there's blood involved, and I'm
this
like,
old lady had a bunch of grocery bags, and she was like going down like this, and I went to someone beat me to helping her. Some guy beat me to help her.
you shoved that guy away.
Yeah, I was like, that could have been me. I think the weirdest thing I actually saw on a subway recently was this guy like clipping his nails.
Ugh.
That to me, I would rather have a guy take a fucking shit than clip his nails.
If you
because
clip
he
your
did it
nails-
like like he was like, it wasn't a homeless guy. Like he was a guy looks like he was going to work or something. Like clip it, like you brought a nail clipper out of your house and said, I'm gonna clip my nails on the subway. You should be in jail.
Clipping your nails anywhere outside the bathroom, I think, is fucking deranged.
I saw a guy do that at the Indianapolis airport. He was just doing it and letting it all fall on the ground. He thought no one was around at 6 a.m. watching him. I was watching him, and he made eye contact with me and was like embarrassed, like, oh God, what do I do? He saw that, and I was like, yeah, motherfucker, I got you. I fucking got you.
You clip your fingernails into the sink, your toenails into the toilet. That's how I do it.
I do my toenails. I like sit on the toilet when I clip my toenails, clip them onto the ground, then pick them up and throw them out.
Ugh. I mean, that's very nice of you. But just the image of like having to pick up nails off the ground, gross.
They're not that bad. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to collect my dad's toenails.
What? For what?
Like my dad, he was notorious. He would have such long toenails.
But you just
And my mom had to cut them for him, and like it was like a big thing. It was a big thing in this community.
Cutting your dad's toenails was a family event.
It was a family event. It was like, oh, it's been 2-3 months. Like it's time to cut Daddy's toenails.
Oh my!
My mom,
You want to say all this?
my mom would cut them, and like I'd put them in a little cup. Like, God, my dad's got the long.
What the fuck? What the fuck, Tommy? What the fuck?
for just to look
It was
at.
awesome. He had such long toenails.
What would you do with them?
Nothing.
Do you still have them somewhere?
No, they're gone. But I think I would just, I don't know exactly where I'd put them, but it was a big event in my family.
That's so weird.
No.
That really ruined my day.
Where did you do it at?
I didn't like that at all.
And like he would lay down in bed.
What, dude? So your dad would lay in bed. Your mom would call young Tommy up.
Yeah.
She would straddle him, supposedly?
No. Like he'd put his feet up at the end of the bed on like a little wooden perch. And then she'd be, in a chair or whatever, and it's not that
You'd be
weird
running
at
around
all.
just catching fly balls.
And I'd be like, wow, look how long these are. It's a had to be there type situation.
I
gotta say,
man.
Your dad lived like a king. Yeah. Lay down in bed and have their toes clipped. How often would it happen? It sounds like
Every couple months, few months, because they'd get long.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
couple
if you're doing
months
it every
is
couple-
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of it.
God damn, that sucked.
I was gonna say I used to clip them outside on like the back porch into the grass. Is that weird? But that's not as weird as
It's not as weird, but it's abnormal.
on a summer day. I'd go outside on my parents' back porch and just that was freedom. Clip them
We
into the
work with
grass.
a bunch of goddamn sickos.
You don't think that's normal, do you?
I don't think it's normal. I don't think it's like, I think you guys are overblowing it a little.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
we're not
no.
overblowing the quarterly cutting of your father's toenails. That was a family.
It must be an Italian thing. It's an Italian thing.
Do you want that like?
No, it stays. It stays. Tommy would collect his father's toenails.
Yeah.
And thought it was fun. Put them in a cup.
It's a collectible.
In a cup.
It's a collectible.
Just to look.
What kind of cup? Like a souvenir cup?
No, like one of the little white cups you'd use to like when
Like
you
a
brush your
Dixie.
teeth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God.
Grab the wrong one.
Jesus Christ. What's the next
Yeah.
topic?
Dudes rock. Two guys meet at a bar, exchange numbers, post their texts where they only list random NFL players where they went to college. So the guy.
I'm over this fucking trend.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. It was, don't get me wrong, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was, this was fun, this was cool, this was like, oh yeah, fucking hell yeah. I think we get it. Sometimes we like to talk about sports.
Yeah. It
I
could
also-
be fun, I'm sure, but it's
Part of it is the fact that I can't do this anymore. There was a time in my life where you could start listing athletes and I'd be able to hit you with every college and shit, but I don't fucking know anymore.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's a fun 5-minute activity. Maybe, but like,
Dude, imagine if you met.
all guys talk about is where players went to college. I don't know. Get a hobby. Kick your dad's stone.
Have a pen pal across the country, and you're pinging guys back and forth.
Like again, if they're early 20s, which I assume they are, that's fun. But if I like at this day and age in my life, if some stranger I met in a bar just kept texting me random names, I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up.
And the world needs to see this. I bet this whole story's fucking fake. I bet these guys are already friends, and they said these tweets go viral all the time. Let's pretend like we met at a bar across the country. Blah blah blah.
The guy saying he posted it on Twitter, and he's like, I've never been called gay more times in my life. Like, yeah, that tracks. I don't know. It's fun to reminisce. I went to a bar, an IU Indiana bar, and there was a guy that was like my age, and we were just talking like 03 to 08 IU basketball, and we'd just be like AJ Ratliff, and we would just go, oh yeah. That was nice, but we were just sitting at the bar having a beer, and yeah, that was good. But to be pen pals with someone across the country, that's a little much.
I saw like a Patriots account I followed the other day tweet like, name a random Patriot, I'll start, and that fucking shit sucks too. Shut up. Again, if you like having fun with your friends and doing it, I encourage it, but I'm all set.
No, yeah, this sickens me.
I also, whenever they're like, name a random Patriot, and they're just like, Mike Vrabel, it's like, well, that's not really random. He's pretty well known. It's got to be.
I mean, Lawrence. If we're playing, Lawrence Maroney came to mind.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a Snickers caught it. All right, next. No.
Ben Watson.
All right, second ad. Stella Blue. At Stella Blue Coffee, we believe good coffee is one of life's non-negotiables. It's time to stop drinking those boring, tasteless big coffee beans and turn to Stella Blue. Stella Blue's coffees has delicious roasts that are available in cold brew, K-cups, ground and whole bean formats to seamlessly fit into your morning coffee routine. Oh, and every bag sold helps save dogs. Stella Blue is proud to have helped over 1,000 dogs from rescue to adoption. Enjoy Stella Blue coffee by using the QR code on the screen or by visiting StellaBlueCoffee.com and use promo code RUNDOWN for 20% off orders of $25 or find them at Amazon for next day delivery. Great purpose, better coffee. Stella Blue.
Speaking of athletes no one gives a shit about, topic 3.
Anthony Rendon is ready for a comeback for the ages. Just kidding. He's getting hip surgery right as pitchers and catchers are reporting to spring training, and he's going to miss a ton of time.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, bad contract. This is what I was saying. I think
This guy is a true piece of shit. He really is, Anthony Rendon.
Is he?
Yeah, like he's the worst contract ever, and he just doesn't care. He it's whatever. You get hurt a lot, that's fine. I know people will be like, oh, he's just phoning it in. You got to respect it. No,
is that
he's a piece of shit.
Is that his fault or is it the team that signed him?
He seems to genuinely just hate playing baseball.
Right.
Like he has no remorse.
Did he play for the Nationals?
Yeah, he won a championship.
Okay,
with them.
that's what I remember him. I was like,
7-year, $250 deal with the Angels, and I think he's played like 10 games.
Yeah, I'm always amazed when people are like, this guy doesn't care. It's just a job to him. It's like, well, yeah, we're fans. Of course, we love the sport. Yeah. This guy just was really good at baseball. Right. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll sign for $250 million. And then he's like, oh, whatever. They're still going to pay me? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I always think that's different when people are like, oh, you can't blame an athlete for just treating it as a job. He's not an accountant. An accountant can treat a job just as a job. There's nobody rooting for him and really relying on him. When you're an athlete, it's another story. You have millions of fans and like people that support you, and I don't know. Yeah, you do have people that rely on you. I think it's different.
The fan base,
you should care more.
I agree with that.
The fan base, you have an obligation to the fan base, but from his point of view, he doesn't. It's just a job that he doesn't give a shit.
No, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
We like the Angels' chances.
Yeah. Pete Davidson, is he still hot without his tattoos? If you guys have walked by Madison Square Garden, there's just billboards of Pete Davidson in his underwear. Maybe that's the underwear we need to be fucking wearing. But he's gotten rid of all of his tattoos. He was on Fallon the other night and was like, yeah, before you get your Game of Thrones tattoo, maybe think about it.
I don't have much of a take on whether Pete Davidson's hot or not. He looks fine, I think. I love that Keegs, it feels like has kind of been living like 2016 Barstool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's in just like, she's got this blog, like, is Pete Davidson still hot? Like, that's like, is Kylie Jenner still hot without her lip injections? And then the battle she's been in on Twitter is unbelievable. It's so awesome.
The Swiftie Civil War.
Swifties.
Just where like it's literally like fights. She was on Case Radio today, so I've had this conversation with her face as well. But it's like it's just like she made a joke that is a nothing joke. It's whatever. But Swifties got really mad about it, and now it's just like you guys are lunatics making Swift your whole life. Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, we talked about it, not at length, but we talked about it for a while. Where it's just like, yeah, no, I've been in that fight before. Where it's just like a dumb joke about Taylor and Travis, and then Swifties getting furious about it. That's funny.
Yeah, I think the joke was like, Taylor should break up with Travis.
Yeah.
He sucked in the game.
How dare you?
I
I was just kidding.
I think everyone at the Super Bowl party like made that joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know, he's getting broken up with.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not, it's not a joke you're like gonna hang your hat on. Like, fuck yeah, that's a great joke. But it's also,
If you get actually upset about that, you have a mental illness.
right.
Yeah.
I think Swifties are all just like everything has to be perfect and it's kumbaya and we're all holding hands and we all got to support Taylor no matter what.
Like that was
It's a
funny.
scary world.
With people
Yeah.
getting mad about the booing, like that was funny.
Right.
That's funny.
Also, it was fucking Eagles fan. Like the
That's what I
majority
mean.
of the Super Bowl was Eagle fans.
they're
She's
booing-
the most famous Chiefs fan at the game. She's
then-
gonna get booed.
But then
How is that?
what they were saying was like, well, Paul Rudd was on the screen and they weren't booing him, and it's like, but Taylor's a billion times bigger than Paul Rudd. Like,
Right. I mean, you can't boo Paul.
You can't boo Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of I Love You Man, that the trailer for Friendship came out the other day, and that's Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. And one of the
Oh, it sounds amazing.
pull quotes is "I love you, man" for sickos. And I was like, I don't know if you can have
When's
a better.
that come out?
I want to say March.
I'll be there. Friendship, it's called.
Ken
Yeah.
Jack, do you know when that comes out? Yeah. A24. I don't know if that matters. I feel like Neon's the new A24.
What's that? May. I
May.
knew it was an M.
It's a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
All right, is that it for the rundown? Any other topics? No more topics. Inside Barstool, anything going on?
Jackie's vlog yesterday, she had a brave statement that I agree with. I think most people don't hear, at least don't say it. Times Square fucking rules.
Why?
Like, I don't want to live in it or I don't want to go to dinner there, but like, it's fun to walk through. You walk through, you're like, holy shit, this is like the center of capitalism. That's kind of cool.
It's too crowded. I mean, like once or twice a year. It's
Yeah. It's not a regular thing, but when you walk through it, I'm not like, oh, I'm never going to Times Square. Like, it's fucking wild.
But I think that people outside of New York who don't live in New York are like, oh, that's like where people go out and like I think that's where they think
True.
like everybody like in New York hangs out, and it's like the exact opposite.
Obviously, the exact, but like walking through it is crazy.
Walking through it, because that's like your destination. Like I'm gonna go to Times Square and walk through it. Like if you had to get through it and you're in a hurry, it sucks. It's awful.
Yeah.
But like going there as a destination and like hanging out for a bit, is that what you're talking about?
I like going to a Broadway play or something like
Right.
that. You're like looking around, you saw the bright lights, you're like, fuck, this is sick.
It is good people watching, I guess.
People watching?
Yeah,
People
I don't know.
watching good there.
Whenever I first got here, I did like a man on the street in Times Square at like 3 a.m.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was kind of the worst place ever. Like,
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, I disagree. I don't like Times Square. Too crowded. I don't like all those people being around
Yeah,
me.
same.
Like,
But hey, that's the beauty of fucking Barstool. Some people can have one take, another person can have another, and we fucking hash it out.
but you just like being in the mix.
I don't
See the
like.
lights.
I don't go out of my way. I think Jackie said she goes out of her way to do it. I don't do that, but when I'm walking through it, I'm awe-stricken because it is awesome. You're like, whoa, this is crazy.
I will say, the hot dog cannon they had in Times Square.
Now that was a special thing. They had that big hot dog there.
If you want to see some classic Barstool content, go watch the TikTok of
Yeah.
us going to check out the hot dog cannon.
As if you haven't seen it.
As if you haven't, yeah. Well, it's just one of the. It's like Dave goes to the guinea pig thing.
Yeah.
You know,
King Richard's Fair.
King Richard's Fair.
They're
It's-
calling it the modern day King Richard's Fair.
Yeah. All right. Is that it? Cool. That's the
That's it.
rundown.